Okay, this video is for hoping for the best 559. The question is, how do I help my team improve their 1v1 play, right? It looks like they're between U6 and U8. So the way that my trainer helped me improve 1v1 was by we had classes between 10 and 12 kids, maybe sometimes 8 to 12 kids, and he would pair players up with each other, and then you would get a tall cone, right? You get a tall cone, and each player had a tall cone, and then you would line up, right? In the class, you would be on opposite sides of the class, so maybe couple of yards away, so maybe 4 or 5 meters away, call it, right, just a distance away from each other, and there would be rows of barrels, and then you would have to knock your opposition's cone over with a size 1 or a size 2 ball. And what we did was we would switch off, right? We play each other, and then he'd blow the whistle, and then we'd play someone else. So he would increase the volume of 1v1 interactions, and using the smaller ball helped improve and sharpen our touch, and having a target to aim for was helpful, because if you have a target that you can aim for, then hitting the target encourages, right? It kind of shows that you're improving, right? Ideally, you want to beat the player and score on the cone, just like in the game. You want to beat a player and finish on goal, but he increased the volume of 1v1 interactions, so you had to attack and defend. It was very game-like, and having the smaller ball again made it so that it kind of adjusts your sensitivity. It's like if you play Call of Duty, you play a video game, and you raise the sensitivity on the controller, and in the beginning it's much harder because your sensitivity jacked up, but over time, your fingers and eye-hand coordination, they become more sensitive, right? That's why, and it's like the same thing for soccer, right? The smaller ball in the beginning is tougher, but over time your players will develop faster, and their rate of development will increase. So that's the one thing that's going to improve their 1v1 interactions. And it's in terms of how that fit into the rest of the training session. We did a short warm-up, and then it was ball mastery. So first we learned to chop, then scissors, then drags, then L moves, right? So a progression of ball mastery skills. Then we did soccer sequences. So for example, we did outside, outside, inside, switch foot, outside, inside, switch foot, right? So different soccer sequences. Then we did the barrel game, which is players would line up against the wall of this facility, and there'd be a landscaper barrel in the middle, so maybe 4 or 5, right? Each player, there was 2 players going to each barrel facing each other, and then he'd say go, and then so you'd have to, for example, with your right foot with a bounce, you kick it, bounce into the barrel, then left foot, right? And then you're competing, right? So it was a fun game. And then number 4 was finish on 1v1 to cones with a small ball, or we did 2v2, 3v3, things like that. So I think if you incorporate some of those things into your training session with your team, I think they're definitely going to improve. And that's the way I grew. So I hope this helps, and reach out with any questions. Okay, thank you.